Pisces, welcome to your February 2020 Love and General reading. I'm Gemstone Tarot. We're using the Palladini Tarot today. Pisces, Pisces, Pisces. It's a very Pisces month, okay? It's February, so some of you will have birthdays, early Pisceans. And we've got, sun going into Pisces. When is it? About the 20th. We've got a new moon in Pisces on the 24th. All that would be very nice and straightforward if Mercury wasn't going retrograde in Pisces on the 17th. There's only one thing that makes a Pisces even more Piscean, and that's when Mercury goes retrograde in their sign. Okay. That feels good, actually. What do we need to know? Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, Cross Watchers, anybody who's here is welcome. There will be an extended reading and the link will be in the description box, Pisces. Last month's extended reading was stonking. Oof, okay. Wow, Pisces. Often as a tarot reader, and especially if you watch my dailies, you will know this, I pull two tens together. I don't know why this is. I don't know if all readers do that. Leave me a comment, because lots of Pisceans are tarot readers. Pull two tens together, okay? 10 of Wands and the 10 of Swords. And to be honest, I very often pull those two together, or I pull the other two, so I'll pull the 10 of Pentacles and the 10 of Cups together. Okay. Something is at breaking point with this. When you get two tens together like that, and they're not the prettiest, are they? I mean, come on. What would you rather? I suppose this one. But they're kind of almost both the same message. You've kind of had enough, or something reaches a point. Notice a little new moony thing up there on the 10 of Swords. There's so much energy in Pisces in February, and Pisceans aren't actually very comfortable with having that much of their own energy going on. I think that Pisceans don't like to be the centre of astrological or any other kind of attention. Where the 12th sign of the zodiac, it's the sign that falls off and hides, you know, it's the sign of resurrection, it's the sign of sacrifice. It's not really the sign of, yeah, here I am. You know, that's not very Piscean. So something is reaching a kind of a zenith point, and it's got something to do, so it's difficult because this reading is very kind of, I want to say spiritual, and it just sounds ridiculous to say this reading is spiritual. Of course it's spiritual. It's a tarot reading for a start, and we're Pisceans, therefore it's going to be spiritual. But there's a lot of divine masculine energy stepping up in this reading. Now, I feel like this is divine feminine energy giving up in this reading. It's a really strange reading for Pisces, because Pisces is unlimited. Pisces is eternal. It's the unlimited, eternal, unconditional loving sign. If you ever look on Instagram at some of the, you know, they have like those astrological kind of memes, or they have little posters, you know, Pisces does this, Pisces does that. It mostly centres around Pisces never giving up on loving somebody, because that's probably true, isn't it? Some Pisceans, as we have two fish swimming in different directions, manage this side of themselves, depending as well on where your moon is and other placements. You know, if you've got some earth placements, or you've got some, I was going to say wind placements, if you've got some air placements, you may find it easier to step back a bit. But even Pisces has a breaking point. There we are. The secret's out, fellow Pisceans. Even Pisces has a breaking point. You know, fair enough, it's probably a lot further down the line than all the other signs, apart from maybe Cancerians. But that's another story. You reach a breaking point, and it's probably because in February you've got that much going on in Pisces that you feel a sense of power that you don't normally feel, and you kind of act on it. Okay? Now, Pisces is a yin sign. Pisces, when they're acting on something, is going to probably withdraw. An action for Pisces is not like an action for Aries. You know, it's not, I must do this. You know, it's more, I've had enough of that. I'm pulling back from this. I literally can't do this anymore. I literally can't give my energy, love, time and attention to this anymore. 10 of Wands. That is when you keep on loading up the burden. You keep on picking up the sticks. You keep on taking on someone else's emotional burdens, or the burden of someone else's behavior or lack of care, time and attention, or whatever it is. Okay, you keep on loading it up. And then the 10 of Swords is where it kind of, the wound of each time someone disappoints you sticks until there is so many that you can't keep going with it. That's why they're 10s. Now, to get 10s in a reading is a blessing, because when you get the 8s or the 9s, you know, you've still got a bit of a way to go with it. When you start getting the 10s, you're like, I'm on the zenith, I'm on the edge, I've kind of reached the end of some kind of cycle with this. And then we have two quite masculine cards coming out, and it feels like they only spring into action when it's all done, which is weird, but it does happen that way sometimes. The Magician, masculine magic. So the High Priestess would be the feminine magic and would be a much more Piscean card. This is masculine magic. It's the masculine external. You've got the 4 suits of the tarot, the sword, the cup, the wand, I want to say the plate, and the pentacle. You've got infinity, and the Magician has dominion. He has power over, that battery ran out. He has dominion over his external environment. Now, the Magician can be a tricky card. He can be a bit duplicitous. He can be a bit mischievous in my eyes, because he has power to make things happen. He's an alchemist. It's a very powerful position. But the way that I'm reading it here is he finally sees that Pisces has given up and takes up the cause. Okay, he springs into action. He starts to make things happen. Now, the Emperor, masculine energy. Again, the Emperor makes things happen. He initiates. He's got the globe in his hand. He has dominion. He makes things happen. He carries the energy of that Magician, because the Emperor is number 4, the Magician is number 1. He puts it into action. He builds things. He's got the globe. He's got this kind of, I don't know if you call it a mace, but he's got all the trappings of power here. It's yang energy at work. And it's yang energy that springs out of probably your despair. And I know that sounds, you know, really strange to say. Well, yeah, it is your despair. It takes such a lot for a Piscean to give up. Such a lot. That, I mean, God, you really do. It's like you've got 20 things there. 10 wands and 10 swords. It was like, I really tried. I really, really tried. And then you just like flake. It's like, I can't. I actually can't. Yeah. I had to know what was underneath the 10 of wands. Death card, transformation and change. And then unwittingly, Pisces, your giving up causes this scorpionic transformation and change in a situation that you've been trying so hard to change for so long. It starts to galvanize. Now, this is probably very resonant. I wouldn't normally say this, but it's so clear. If you are dealing with the masculine, then you are the feminine giving up. And the masculine is the one taking the power and making things happen at last. Whether that is too late for you, you may be the masculine, you may be dealing with the feminine. Work it to however it resonates for you, okay, in whichever kind of relationship you're in. In which case you're coming into your power. There is a sense here of death with the Scorpio, of the death of hope in a way, of the death of trying, okay? The death of trying to make something happen eternally. 10 of Swords, 10 of Wands. And then it's only that finally galvanizes this masculine energy. Okay, in the middle of the Magician and the Emperor, we've got the Queen of Swords. And for once, Pisces, that's you. You've gone cold. Cold fishy, okay? Cold fish. Anyone who's a Pisces, and I'm a triple Pisces, will know what I mean when I say cold fish, okay? Again, it's not something Pisces does often, but there are two fish swimming in opposite directions, not just the one. And that's probably what saves Pisceans, you know, from wrecking themselves, is the fact that if one fish goes too far, the other one will pull it back. And sometimes when it's quite emotionally extreme, cold fish comes out and it's like the shutters come down. And the shutters only come down on a Pisces. A Pisces will only shut down when they really, 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 really have to, okay? And you really have to. This could relate back to the full moon in Cancer, which was on the 10th of January. That's my full moon. Do you like that? Full moon. Because it was in a fellow water sign, and it was really like that. Really emotional, really unavoidable for Pisceans. A lot of Pisceans, it was a real situation. So it could relate back to that, but it could also relate back to November, when we had Mercury retrograde in Scorpio, another fellow water sign. Okay. 6 of Cups. 6 of Cups in this situation relates to your relationship with this person or with someone, which is karmic, or I don't know if karmic's the right word actually. I use that word advisedly. It's a soul contract of some kind when you've got the 6 of Cups. It goes back. And with a Pisces being the sign of resurrection, I wouldn't like to say how far back that goes. I think you will know if that's you. 6 of Cups is it's a scorpionic energy. It's an interesting energy because it's also, for me, a yin energy. It's the energy of longing and absorption and looking back and memories and sweetness and childhood and melancholy and all of that. And this particular situation that you're in, Pisces, has been a lot to do with longing and melancholy and sweetness. And that's usually what happens when there's distance from somebody or a lack of some kind. And there has been a lack. I feel like Shakespeare. A lack, alas, there's been a lack. There's been a lack which has caused this Ten of Swords. Now, of course, Pisces, the other thing to pay attention to is that when you get the Ten of Swords, the Death card, the Ten of Rods, and you get the Emperor, if you have what, you know, I suppose you could call it father issues, which makes it a bit flippant, and I don't mean to be at all, if you have long-standing childhood issues with the Emperor in your life, whoever that was, these are being reflected back to you in your relationships. For some of you, it may be that your father has passed as well, because we've got the Death card with the Emperor. It could go back to 10 years old, 6 years old, ages like that. There is an opportunity in February to transform memories. Now, I don't know exactly what I mean by that, okay, because I think I'm channeling, so thank God you're Pisces, because you probably do know what that means, or you can go and find out what that means for you, and it probably means something very different for all of you. But there's an opportunity with the Magician for masculine magic in February, okay? Masculine magic. And even by becoming the Queen of Swords, you are dropping into masculine yourself, okay? You are causing distance. You are switching off the tap. And that makes it happen. It's a strange energy. 6 of Pentacles. Generosity comes your way. Maybe financial. This could be to do with I can't even say that, entrepreneurial things. Entrepreneurship, business, finance, doesn't actually matter, because for Pisceans, it's all the same thing. Love energy, money energy, it's all the same. It's why people like Steve Jobs create things as intuitively beautiful as Apple phones. I'm a bit of a fan of Apple, but it's where philosophy, Pisceans are where philosophy and love and money meld together. There are more, I know that Pisceans, it's often said, oh, they're not very good with money and stuff. There are more, if you look at the list of entrepreneurs, there are a lot of Pisceans on that list. It's just they do it in a really weird way. Probably quite disorganised, probably you can't quite tell what they're doing. But Pisces, again, if you're not being paid what you're worth, you may back off, you may withdraw, you may do whatever it is. You Ten of Swords it, you know, you reach your maximum. And it starts a ball rolling. This is relationships, this is money, this is Pisces knowing their worth. But as a Piscean, that's how you get there. Through surrender. Then we have 2 major arcana. We have the Hermit. I like that energy. It's Virgo energy, it's your opposite sign. You may become strangely organised. I know, if you could see the floor, all my astrology books all over the floor. You may become strangely organised, may not recognise yourself. You may flip into your Virgo side, businesslike, organised, compartmentalised. This may happen to you in February. It's very advantageous. Don't fight it, okay? And then we get the Sun. Illumination. Energy, luck, radiance, buoyancy. Clarity and yang. The moon is yin and that is Pisces. Woo! The sun is yang and that's a Leo energy. It's much more forceful, it's fixed, it's fire, but we're moving into that. It's only a temporary move, Pisces, but also with Mercury retrograde, it's a redo, it's a revision. Chuck's Betzano love cards, Pisces. By the way, do subscribe if you haven't already. and hit the wiggly bell, because I do a lot of random love readings at the moment. And they just pop up on your feed if you hit the wiggly bell. Wow, Pisces. This is nice. You get the luck card of dreams come true. Now for me, this is about manifesting, which is something Pisceans are extremely good at. What you hold dear, what you hold out for, what you actually really want can come true, but probably only if you give up first. Weird message. The Grace card of happiness. That's nice. And the Healing card of commitment. That's beautiful, actually. In the extended, I'm going to look at the Magician. I'm going to look at the Emperor. I'm going to look at the Six of Cups. I'm going to look at the Ten of Swords as well. And I'm going to see if there's anything about the other person. Although they're quite present. They're only present after the Ten of Swords has happened, but they are present. Okay. Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, Colette Baron Reid. It's that one. Pisces, you get the Camel Boy, small steps and asking for help. It's to do with sustaining without water. Pisceans aren't very good at asking for help. And you may find when you're in the Ten of Swords, Ten of Wands energy that you do need to ask for the smallest of things. Do that, Pisces. It's not going to be easy. You know, like when we were talking about there can be masculine magic and you can transform memories to do with fathers. You may need help with that. It's not the easiest of things sometimes. Retreat. Absolutely. It's my Virgo yin card, actually. Yeah. It's when you retreat. It's when you surrender. It's when you break, actually, that the magic happens, Pisces. Poof. Big readings for you for January and for this month. I'm going to go do your extended, Pisces. The link's in the description box. Do subscribe. Leave me a comment. I'll see you soon. Namaste.